under Presidents George W. Bush and President Obama. Barry, Donadio, thanks very much for being with us on NewsHour. Were you surprised by how events turned out today?
Thanks for having me on your show. No, I wasn't. I mean, we all knew it was coming, and it's been a long time coming. The regime has been hostile to the United States for a long time, going back to Hugo Chavez and his nationalization of our oil industry in Venezuela. And, when Hugo Chavez passed away, all that happened was his vice president took over, which Maduro was. And we all know that, he is a narco-terrorist. Bottom line, they're manufacturing drugs in Venezuela. It is making its way to the United States.
I guess that'll be something for a U.S. court to determine now that he's going to be indicted,
Sure.
We're told, in New York later today. I noticed you said they nationalised our oil industry. I suppose a lot of Venezuelans would say, well, actually, it's our oil. American companies were in there. Yes, it was nationalised, but they might be a bit nervous about the idea of American oil companies coming back in and U.S. troops potentially defending the oil refineries. I mean, this idea of the US having a presence on the ground, maybe in the short term, we don't know for how long until a transition. I wonder what you make of that.
The next few hours is going to tell the story of what's going to happen. I do understand that the administration is in contact with now the vice president of Venezuela, and apparently from what I'm hearing and is being reported, that she is cooperating with the United States. So I'm not quite certain the U.S. will have boots on the ground. I think the president said that we're not afraid to, and we will if we need to.
I wonder how you think Republicans more generally will respond to this. I mean, just last month, between 20th and 22nd of December, YouGov conducted a poll on behalf of The Economist and then asked about the prospect of military force being used to overthrow President Maduro. 22% of Americans supported, 52% opposed it. Of that, 44% of Republicans supported forcibly overthrowing Maduro, 27% oppose it. I mean, this is not something that apparently has what you would call overwhelming American support.
Yeah, I agree with you. In the United States right now, it's literally 50-50. We're Republican, Democrat. If you're a Democrat, you disagree with this right off the bat because it's Donald Trump that did it. If you're a Republican, you pretty much support the president, and you find that, hey, this guy was a narco-terrorist. We've had problems. He's been inviting Iran as well as Russia military assets to Venezuela. I think it's just a whole lump sum of things all mixed up together that got us to this point.
I just wanted this question, though, that the president campaigned on. And I mean, I've interviewed some supporters of the Make America Great Again movement who said, actually, we thought we'd get a president who kept us out of foreign interventions, not one who seemed so willing to carry them out. I mean, America's policeman was a role that, the world's policeman was a role that Mr. Trump himself was pretty skeptical about. I wonder what you think has changed him in that respect.
Well, I don't think we're really involved in a sense where we're going to be staying in Venezuela or trying to occupy or colonize Venezuela.
Sure, but he did say you're going to be running it for at least a period.
Yeah, he certainly did, but I think it's going to be through a phone call, to be honest with you.
Right.
I think he's just simply going to call over there, and they're going to do what he's saying to do. Who knows what's really going to be said behind closed doors? I don't know either. But, I think so. I don't even think they're going to need boots on the ground. But if we speak to the Venezuelan people, at least here in the United States, they have been telling me for years that he's got to go. I mean, the money has crashed. It's worthless. Any contact that I have that is of the origin of South America, they all know Maduro. They all think he's evil. They all don't want him.
And yet, isn't every government, I mean, we've only got 30 seconds or so, but isn't everybody government going to be a bit chilled by the thought that if America takes a dislike to us, it could remove us?
Well, I think Cuba should be on notice. I think Colombia should be on notice. If I were them, I'd be losing sleep. Iran, I'd be losing sleep if I worked for the government of Iran. And the cartels in Mexico should be on watch too.
Barry Donadio, former Secret Service agent who served under Presidents George W. Bush and President Obama and is a supporter of Donald Trump, talking to me live here on News.